Welcome to my 2023 year review. I thought it's January 3rd and 2023 for me was an interesting year. I'm seeing everyone is like
2023 was the best year of my life.
And I'm like, I just can't relate. I've had better years. Like 2023, she was good, she was fun. She wasn't amazing. I don't know if you'd call it eventful or what, but I have a few story times that I'm just gonna... Guys, I'm back. I've switched to a different tripod, and I tell you what, if this one doesn't work, I'm going to switch the camera off and have a breakdown. Not even joking. Let's get straight into this first story time. What is going on with my seatbelt? I was just filming for like 3 minutes and I didn't even click record properly. So 2024 is going great. The story starts, picture this, February 2023. This ad comes up, you apply for it, you get an interview over the phone, and you get hired straight away over the phone. Looking back on it now, oh my word, definitely a bit of a red flag. So I rock up to day one. I'm supposed to be working in this one town once a week teaching, and I rock up. He's like, "How you going, Jasmine?" I'm like, "I'm Brigida." I had to clarify with him a bunch of times on how to say my name, and to this day this man just called me B. He's like,
"Can I just call you B? Is that right? Like, it's just easier."
I was like, "Sure, go for it, whatever." And I believe it's just because he couldn't remember how to say my name. I teach one day at this job. I'm like, it's cool, it's whatever. And then he's like, "Girl, business is kind of dying over there. Do you want to come work at the other studio I have, being a receptionist?" I was like,
"Okay."
And he's like, "But your pay will go down by $10 because you're a receptionist, not a dance teacher." I'm like, "Cool, whatever. I'll get more hours doing this." Whoa, there's children waving at me. Hello. Kids are so weird, what the heck. Anyway, he says to me, it was literally like the next week or something, "Oh yeah, I've just rostered you on to teach some classes during the week because you're here, so you might as well." I was like, "Okay, that's cool. Will my pay go to my teaching hours when I teach them?" He says, "No." What? And it wasn't just one class, it was 7. It was 7. I was only there for 3 afternoons a week. This man wanted to have me do the receptionist and plan and teach 7 classes for the receptionist pay. No, I'm not doing that. Surprise, I did do it. Car. I'm doing it, it's whatever. I had to fly back a few weeks later to visit my nana who's like extremely sick. And I'm like, "Can I have these 3 days off?" He said, And I told him the circumstances. He's like, "Oh, I guess I could give you Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'm gonna need you here on Thursday to close the door." I said, "Huh?" I said, "Doesn't the ballet teacher know how to do that?" He said, "Yeah, but I'm gonna need you to double check it." What? I was like, "Oh," and he's like, "I would do it, but I have to come from the other town that I'm teaching at." I'm like, "I have to come back from another state to come and lock the door." And then this girl that I was teaching the private, she said, "I don't want to come anymore." And she had a whole list of reasons, and me having to cancel her private for 1 week was one of them. And I was like, that kind of has my feelings that she read that. And he said, "Well, you did do it." I was like, okay. Then yeah, he just stopped paying me. And not just me, actually, all of his staff. And I said, "Yeah, I'm actually gonna need that pay." And he said, "Oh, I don't have it for you." Anyways, I quit, and then he sent me this email that said 2 staff and ex-staff, and just kind of ranted about how he is emotionally unstable or something. And I was like, that makes me feel sorry, but like also I have to get a job that pays me. You know, that's enough of that story. Next story. All is well, I got a new job, and I'm driving into an unfamiliar location. I don't know where I'm going. I had to turn right at some lights, and then I thought I had to turn left straight after, and I was in the wrong lane because I didn't know it went into 2 lanes. So I had to do a bit of a dodgy situation. I had to merge into the left lane to turn. Oh dear, it's an ambulance. That scared me. I thought that was a police police. Guy behind me puts down his honker. I nearly chucked him the thumbs down, you know, because it's like, that was unnecessary. The car followed me. Turns out it was the police. They flashed their little lights. I was like, guy comes out, this policeman, and he's like,
that was just arrogant, wasn't it? Because of people like you, that's why there's road rage in this city.
I was like, what? Yelling at me. I'm nearly crying. He's like,
License.
so I have a South Australian license in Melbourne, and he looks at it. He goes,
How long have you been here for?
I was like, not that long. And he's like,
Exactly how long have you been here for?
and I tell him, he's like, you should have changed this over by now. I was like, well, actually, scratch that. He looks at it. He turns to walk away. He goes, why is there a light in it? I was like, huh? And he turns around, and then he asks me all those questions. And meanwhile, I'm trying not to cry. I do not do well with being yelled at. Yeah, basically, he just yelled at me. And then I did cry all the way home and all the way to Woolworths after that. The next story also involves the police, but this time they're the good guys. So, I'm leaving for work one day. I'm going down to my car in the basement of my apartment building. Ready for work. I'm ready for a good day. And I go to the car, I put my stuff in, walk around the back, check that my things are still in the back, and I look at the ground, I'm like, OMG, someone's come off their motorbike. There is glass on the ground. Whoa, I nearly choked out my chili juice on the ground. I look up, boom. I have no rear window. I'm like, okay. Tell me why my first thought was, OMG, I have to take public transport to work. I go up to ground floor because I've got no reception down there, and I call my boss. I'm even crying on the phone to her. I'm like, I don't know what to do. My boss right now, she is the sweetest lady on the earth, and I felt so bad having to call her and being like, in tears. It's like, don't worry about coming into work. And then I call Colin and I go and get my stuff out the car. And while I'm down there, I'm like taking pictures. I was taking video of the glass on the ground, and I look back up and I realized someone stolen me vacuum. Then I had to call the police and they had to come down and look at it. But they were really nice. There were two ladies. Shout out to you two ladies because you were really nice. Here's a more lighthearted story of 2023. I was going to Winnie the Pooh the musical. I highly recommend it. It was the best musical of my life. This will probably only mean something to you if you're Australian. But I'm walking to the toilet. I'm like, you gotta deal way before the show. Walking in the door. Guess who I physically bump into? Emma Wiggle was in the toilet and I physically ran into her. I was like, oh, sorry. And then I was like, and then I saw her taking pictures with this little girl and I was like, I want a picture with Emma Wiggle. She was sitting literally 2 rows ahead of me and I just wanted to go and tap her on the shoulder. Excuse me, can I have a selfie? The last story I have for you of my 2023 is when I was going to get Uber Eats one time. In my apartment building, I ordered my McDonald's. First of all, I ordered it to the McDonald's that was further away from me, so I knew I was going to get cold fries. Then, pardon me, when it comes, they're like, I'm here. I'm like, coming. And I go to the elevator. I click the down button. It comes, and I hop in this bad boy. I only have to go down a few floors, and all of a sudden,
Boom!
and it's like we hit the ground. And I saw we were on level 1. So I'm banging open the doors open button. Nothing is happening. And then all of a sudden,
I'm falling.
the bit where it tells you what floor you're on just said unknown. I was like, oh, okay. Then the elevator literally bangs again, this time even worse. And I'm on B4, which is the bottom floor of the garage. So this means no service. I've never been to this floor before. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic news. So I'm clicking the open button again. Nothing is happening. Nothing is happening again. And I'm like,
Don't tell me I'm stuck in the elevator and the McDonald's dude is just like
at the door thinking I'm not coming. And when the doors finally open, I step out and there's only an up button. And I'm like, well, I need to go up, but I don't want to hop in this elevator. So I'm clicking it. The same elevator comes down. So I send her back up. And then I click down again to get the other one. Same one comes down. I'm like, nope, send her back up. And then the same one, she comes back down. I'm like, can you stop doing this to me? Anyways, I just suck it up and hop in the one that just literally fell. All is well, I get up, it's fine. And I go to the McDonald's man. I'm like,
I'm serious, sorry. I got stuck in the elevator.
and he's like, here you go. And then I just went home. In review, I give 2023 a 6.5 because she had some good moments, she had some memorable moments, and she made some funny stories, okay? Actually, 7.5, I changed it, 7.5. I hope you have enjoyed my 2023 review. It was a bit hectic. Let me know if you want more story times or whatever.